knew what he was doing, so in control. It's a lot of fun. It's rawr, you know, it's yummy.
Not here yet, is he? Was already a rumor among the production crew. Naturally, they were referring to Kody Brown. And he wasn't quite what anyone had been expecting when he finally arrived there 37 minutes late. Kody was not the smoothed-down reality television star he once dominated the screen with showy charisma and flash white teeth in confession interview footage. Something unkempt and unpredictable replaced him. A man in a mistakenly colored tie, shirt half unbuttoned, and an erratic pandemonium atmosphere. He scanned the hall as though he were attempting to solve a plot. His lips were trembling slightly, and his jaw clenched as though he were attempting to hold back a volcanic explosion. He did not receive guests, did not smile. He rushed by Christine without even a glance, dodged Janelle's lifted brow, and growled something under his breath when Mary tried a friendly greeting. He strode directly to Robyn, who stood outside the bridal tent, adjusting Aurora's veil. What the devil? Kody gripped Robyn's arm a little too hard and growled under his breath. Why didn't someone tell me she wasn't going with me on our stroll? Robyn halted. Not now, Kody. Oh, please. Today is Aurora's day. Don't do this. I'm her father, he growled low. I thought I was at least, but suddenly I am not invited to say a blessing. I am not invited to the rehearsal, and I am not even there to stand with her when she walks down the aisle. Who am I? At a stranger's wedding as a guest. She was shocked as she gazed at him. We discussed this. You told me you'd be calm. You assured to be there for her even if, although I'm not welcomed. Kody interrupted, his voice low and bitter. Is that the temperament of this? The ritual was set to begin, so a production assistant rushed over to escort Robyn away before she could respond. A chilling quiet fell upon the crowd as they settled into their seats. Wearing her veil down her back and her hands shaking slightly, Aurora emerged from the tent like an ivory specter, greeting her father's departure with dignity. Then the music began, the ascendancy of strings. Under the altar, the groom is waiting eagerly with anticipation. A loud voice boomed behind Aurora as she took her first step forward. Behold the wedding. All halted. The location fell into a state of shocked quiet. Aurora's body stiffened in mid-step as her eyes expanded. The song faltered to an end. His jaw clenched, his eyes unfocused. Kody stormed down the aisle like a demon, gesturing wildly at the groom, the guests, the decorations, and everything in sight. It's not love, he shouted. This is ridiculous. A betrayal, a stab in the back of the man who built this family. Robyn stood up, visibly trembling. Kody, stop, please. You're causing a scene, he screamed. I am the scene. You made me do this. You, everyone. I had named Aurora. When no one else wanted her, I was her father. And now she ignores me like I'm not here. The groom stepped forward cautiously. Sir, don't sir me, Kody roared. You didn't even ask for her hand in marriage. What a man does is that is how one defines respect. The guests fidgeted in their chairs. Some had already pulled out their phones. In a hushed tone, one bridesmaid said, "He's completely lost it." Christine folded her arms, muttering, "This is exactly the kind of person he is." It was only a matter of time. Mary looked exhausted, as though she had been expecting this moment for years, apparently to call security. Janelle whispered something to a producer who immediately vanished into the shadows. Robyn tried one more desperate shot. "Kody, please. You're hurting her. Look at her." Aurora remained still, her eyes brimming with tears, mascara beginning to run. As if to shield her from something awful and explosive, her groom placed a protective arm around her. No longer coherent, Kody's breathing grew irregular, and his hands trembled as he shook a finger at all of them. "You made me the villain. You let the world outside paint me a monster, and now you bury me as if I never existed. This is a wedding that makes me lose my identity. A eulogy for the man I used to be. And then go," Christine shouted, standing up. "This has already been all about you. Just go away." And then security arrived. Kody's shoulder was brushed lightly by a tall guy in a black polo shirt, shouting even louder now. As if to override his own collapse, Kody recoiled. "I will not be silent. I will not be forgotten. I will tell my story. The world shall see the truth I penned." At last he was taken away, still shouting and flailing his arms like a doomsday preacher. Aurora wept as she collapsed into her bridegroom's arms, and Robyn sat down again, white-faced and shaking. A long silence followed before the ceremony resumed, yet it was quiet, dignified, and tainted by the shadow of the near riot. Aurora still managed to say, "I do." She also continued to kiss her new husband. The celebration was brief though, and the happiness was hollow. Later that night, word of the meltdown trickled out on social media as the guests departed and the production staff quietly rolled up their gear. Footage of Kody's meltdown went viral. Within hours, the Twitter hashtags #KodyCrash, #BrownWeddingMeltdown, and #FatherOfKnown were trending. Though TLC did not speak, rumors circulated that the wedding video will be stored forever. Robyn vanished from the public eye without issuing any public statements. Aurora and her new husband spent their honeymoon. In an interview with People magazine, Christine showed sympathy for Aurora and expressed her disappointment at the chaos. Mary uploaded an enigmatic video of a single candle dancing softly in the night on Instagram. "Peace at last when the noisiest member of the group gets out of the room." The caption noted, Kody went live on Facebook a few days later, sweaty, angry, and ranting endlessly about betrayal and reclaiming his voice. He was promising a memoir titled Father of None, no longer taken seriously. The show had asked the question, "What is family?" for years. Following a memorable wedding, the response now seemed clear. You don't have to scream it into submission. You build it with love and demolish it with ego. And there's more. Kody mounted a horse while visiting his family's Wyoming ranch with Robyn and their kids. This reminded Robyn about the first time she ever witnessed such an activity. On the May 18th episode of Sister Wives, Kody and Robyn took a day out with their kids on the patriarch's father's ranch in Wyoming. Amidst the many preparations for the funeral service of Garrison Brown, the brood was taking a break. Robyn, 46, remembered the first time she ever saw Kody, 56, riding a horse while the couple's recreational horseback riding activity. "I never would have thought that Kody grew up on a ranch when I first met him." Robyn reminisced in a confessional. "He grew up on a ranch. He just doesn't act that way. It's not how he dresses. He doesn't speak like it. I recall seeing him for like the first time at the ranch and seeing him ride a horse. I had never seen him ride a horse, and I was just like, whoa," she said. According to Robyn, she was impressed by her long-standing partner since he knew what he was doing and was so in control. "It's a lot of fun. You know it's raw," then laughed and said, "It's delicious." After Kody's first wife, Meri Brown, decided to file for divorce, Robyn got married to him legally in 2014, which allowed him to put Robyn's kids on his health insurance. Following years of polygamy, Kody and Robyn remain one another's soulmate. His marriages to Meri, 54, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown all ended between 2021 and 2023. On this Sunday's Sister Wives show, fans could see Kody Brown digging his late son Garrison Brown's grave, saying it was something emotionally hard for him. As Sister Wives fans know, Garrison, 25-year-old son of Kody and his former wife Janelle Brown, died in a March 2024 suicide. On the latest episode, the Brown family showed that Garrison was cremated and his bones would be buried alongside the bones of two of his grandparents, including Janelle's mom Cheryl, who Kody said had likely raised Garrison as much as any of us, at a cemetery in Wyoming. While the entire family felt a sense of meaning in Garrison's final resting spot, Kody said he personally felt a tremendous sense of pride having been the person to dig his grave. "I asked to talk with the cemetery sexton, who is the individual that usually digs the graves, and I just asked him if he would mind if I dug it. It means something to me. I do not know why. It is something very emotional." Kody explained in the episode two of the men who raised Garrison to adulthood were his brother Scott and brother-in-law Tim, who accompanied Kody to the cemetery. Kody explained that even though the three men were not digging a hole large enough for a coffin, he still wanted to make it slightly bigger. "Just doing my best to honor my son," Kody replied, continuing, "I'd like the experience of putting some genuine effort in here." He continued, "I don't even know if it's honor or grieving." Although Kody had never ever dug a grave in his life, he told viewers that it was one of the most significant things he had ever done because he was getting to do it for Garrison. He continued, "It's the last nod to my boy." On Sunday night's show, Janelle informed viewers that she supported Kody wanting to be the one to bury their son in his grave. Although, as Sister Wives fans know, Kody was estranged from Garrison when he died. The next day after Kody and his brothers had dug the grave, Garrison's plural extended family came to visit Kody and Janelle at a graveside service. Kody's wife, Robyn Brown, and their kids, as well as Kody's other former wives, Christine Brown and Meri Brown, attended along with Garrison's other siblings. "You see, Kody called me about being the person to dig the grave," Janelle shared with viewers. "I thought it was perfect. I think it's symbolic and poetic, and all the things to have Kody dig that hole." Janelle, who handed Kody over Garrison's ashes to be buried, spoke with cameras that although she and Kody are no longer in a relationship, they put their differences aside for the special moment for their son. At that moment, she and Kody were merely parents mourning their son together. To feel more in touch with the earth that would be Garrison's final resting place, the family removed their shoes at the funeral, an action that was religiously meaningless. This funeral is not cookie-cutter at all, and that is how Garrison would have liked it, Kody says. The theme of removing the shoes is not a Mormon thing. It's not a fundamentalist Mormon thing, Kody said. A few of Garrison's siblings made graveside speeches to celebrate their brother, though Peyton's gesture was somewhat contentious. Following the spilling of beer over Garrison's urn, Pon said that he was pouring one out for his brother. He also put his own military dog tags onto the urn, which had been handcrafted by Aspen Brown's husband Mitch Thompson to resemble a Viking ship, and said that he will wear Garrison's dog tags on him for the rest of his life. Pon and Garrison and Kody and Janelle's son Hunter have both served in the military. Hunter added a hat to the grave, and also spoke at the service telling the crowd, "Garrison was my playmate. He was my bunkmate for all of my life. He was my arch nemesis and my best friend and beloved brother. Garrison was my first commissioned officer, and this was my hat that I got my first salute from Garrison in." When it comes to Kody Brown, even his kids have strong opinions about the polygamous patriarch, none more than his daughter Gwen Brown. The recent college graduate has kept Sister Wives fans up to date thanks to her recaps on YouTube. And with every episode more and more is revealed about the clan. Recently Gwen spoke out about how toxic Kody and Christine Brown's marriage really was. Here's what she said. "The split between Kody and Christine has been very public. For years it seemed as if Christine followed her husband around like a lovesick puppy. But as the years wore on and jealousy boiled over, the mother of 6 decided she had had enough and called it quits. What came next was a messy split with Christine gaining the high ground and Kody whining a lot." Gwen spoke with Teen Vogue and shared that she and her siblings started to notice little changes within their parents' marriage. In the interview, Gwen simply stated, "I felt like they should have divorced for a while." The Sister Wives star added, "I remember one time as a kid, I saw them arguing and my first thought was, I hope they get a divorce. What kid thinks that, right?" In terms of the spotlight, Gwen said, "I'm growing a bigger dislike for it. And in the past it was like this is my normal, but now it's like this does not have to be my normal. And it's weird." As TLC viewers are aware, the children grew up with an absent father for the most part, and Kody would have to move between the 4 households, leaving the mothers to frequently run the house in his absence. Gwen has always been one of the most vocal and critical of Kody. She has frequently expressed her wish that her father had been more involved in her life, called her useless, and even admitted that he preferred his sons over his daughters. What I have loved most about Gwen is that she has never kept her opinions to herself. Over the past few seasons of Sister Wives, Gwen has maintained an open dialogue on her YouTube channel, frequently re-watching the current episodes and explaining to her followers what was really happening. Gwen has made sure to point out that Kody enjoyed a spouse who could bring honor to him. She once revealed that he married Christine because she was royal Mormon blood. She also calls her dad cowardly for leading Mary Brown on for years. It is evident that Kody's older children noticed his double-standard approach to marriage and parenting. And now that she is older, she is making sure to set clear boundaries. The Sister Wives star once explained that her close relationship with Gabe Brown bothered her because he refused to approach her despite the fact that she was only 4 days younger than him. "We just got thrown into fame and thrown into money and I stopped wanting and needing things." Gwen told the outlet that she was super into filming Sister Wives when it began in 2010 when she and her family were living in a house in Leahy, Utah. She said that Sister Wives helped her family escape a poverty situation. "Life is a lot easier for a kid that's not going hungry. It was quite a blessing initially." The family eventually moved to Las Vegas where they purchased 4 houses right next to each other. For Gwen, this was the best time for the Browns. However, as with most reality TV shows, there was a dubious aspect to it. The network only paid the parents, she claimed. "I don't know if they did or didn't expect the parents to pay us kids, but we weren't paid. Because many of the storylines focused on the children, the decision seemed unfair." Gwen disclosed that Christine was the one who decided to pay her 6 children a certain amount per day or half day of camera time. Gwen and her siblings haven't received a fair share of compensation over the years. Robyn Brown is poisonous to Kody Brown's connection with his children. As Sister Wives fans have stated, his ex-wives have implied and even his children have brought it up. Robyn's self-proclaimed ability to speak Kody seems to allow her the right to interrupt all of his discussions and then add her own thoughts. However, in the most recent episode, it appears that Kody has come to the realization that this is not the proper way for him to interact with the people in his life. Fans of Sister Wives have had enough of Robyn Brown interrupting conversations with her license to speak. Kody, one of the ex-wives, Janelle Brown, shared her thoughts on the subject, expressing the fan sentiment that enough is enough. Having been married to Kody Brown for more than 20 years, Janelle claimed to know how to communicate with her husband without Robyn figuring out what Kody was saying. But Robyn had them all tricked at first. Janelle once explained that Robyn had a knack for persuading the spouses in the Sister Wives marriage to put aside their arguments and have a conversation. At first, the women believed that Robyn had brought something unique to their sister women multiple marriage. It was almost as if Robyn had developed an adorable specialization that she used to correct them all when family disputes arose. Today, however, this is far apart from the sentiments over Robyn's unique gift. It appears that Kody may have also noticed as he makes a gesture that implies something is off. According to Sister Wives viewer, Kody's explanation on the show that he believed he spent more time with Garrison Brown was part of his attempt to dispel the negative image of his terrible father. Additionally, he claimed to have had a lengthy conversation with Aspen Brown Thompson, who believed Kody no longer liked her, but he convinced her that he still loved and would always love her. Before Garrison's funeral, Kody made a special trip to speak with Christine Brown's daughters, including Aspen, in an attempt to mend their relationship. However, this time Kody went alone, leaving Robyn behind while he visited with his children, who weren't Robyn's. And he also mentioned that a few sons from a different mother were present. This was the biggest clue for Sister Wives fans who thought he meant Janelle's sons. The first indication that Kody Brown understood his journey to patch things up with his kids should be him going it alone. Sister Wives supporters believe Kody Brown finally got it. Robyn Brown is a barrier to his kids, even though from his point of view it sounded like he attempted to mend the damaged relationships based on what we heard in the most recent episode. It appears that he was unsuccessful. Janelle Brown stated in this episode that Kody was still distant from his children at Garrison's funeral, and the scenes from that funeral episode appear to support her claims. Although the Sister Wives' children appeared to avoid Kody, we saw Kody reject Logan Brown's attempt to assist him in climbing out of the hole he had dug for Garrison's urn. Still, unless it was Robyn or her kids, no one was near Kody most of the time at the burial service or at the ranch after they came back from the cemetery. So it looks like he is still estranged from his kids, as Janelle suggested on the most recent episode of the TLC series Sister Wives recently aired what was likely its most heartbreaking episode to date. In the May 5, 2025 episode, viewers watched as the Brown family learned 25-year-old Garrison, the son of Kody and Janelle Brown, had died by suicide. Garrison's death happened over a year prior in March 2024. While his passing made headlines at the time, this is the first time Sister Wives addressed the tragedy on screen. Due to the show's delayed production schedule, fans knew the moment was coming, but nothing could have prepared them for the rawness of the scene. Rather than dramatizing events, TLC let the silence speak for itself, cutting to black after Meri took a devastating call from Kody while filming. What came next was a candid look at how the fractured family coped with the loss, which Sister Wives will likely continue to explore throughout the season. The episode started like any other with Meri in the confessional booth. She was about to discuss something unrelated, her birthday, but became visibly distracted when her phone kept ringing. However, Meri's tone changed when she got a text from Kody saying, "It's an emergency." She finally picked and her face dropped. The screen then faded to black with white lettering delivering the sad news. On March 5, 2024, Kody and Janelle's son Garrison passed away. Meri immediately paused filming to drive to Kody and Robyn's house, where she was met by more family members. Later in a confessional, Meri admitted to being in disbelief upon hearing the news from Kody. "He told me the words that I'll never forget." He says, "Garrison took his life and I had this strange, unreal moment where no, it wasn't one of our children. No, that is not what they will do. Do you know, it was a reminder that Sister Wives is more than just a reality show about multiple marriages. It's about a real family. And in its current season, it's a deep dive into loss and grief." The rest of the episode mostly took place in confessionals where the family tried to make sense of what happened. Janelle revealed she'd been texting Garrison throughout the day, saying there was nothing unusual in their conversation, though she knew he'd been struggling. There was nothing scripted about the scene, she recalled. However, she became concerned when her son stopped replying at 8:30 p.m. and contacted his brothers Hunter and Logan to ask them to check on him. Later that evening, Gabriel, one of the other brothers, called Janelle after visiting Garrison's home and discovering him dead. Kody and Garrison had a tense relationship because of the fallout from the family's pandemic tensions, and he confessed on camera that he was filled with guilt and asked if there was anything he could have done to stop Garrison's death. He went on visibly broken. All the frustration I had all of a sudden, that's so unimportant. I'm just sad about what would have been. It makes me feel connected to him to do the what-ifs. Whether or not viewers sympathize with Kody, it's evident that his grief and regret are real. Perhaps the most sobering part of the episode was when the family began to explore the factors that may have contributed to Garrison's suicide. Janelle mentioned that he battled depression and anxiety for years and that alcohol became his coping mechanism, but that his drinking worsened during COVID. Although the family provided all the love, all the support, all the resources, Janelle said something about that night was different. Although the topic of mental health has been discussed on Sister Wives before, this episode had the family and consequently the audience face it head-on. Janelle stated that Gabriel had previously been receiving therapy before Garrison's passing. The death set him back, but he's doing okay. The Brown family will undoubtedly never be the same again. And by revealing their sufferings so publicly, Sister Wives produced one of its most frank, significant, and tragic episodes ever. Janelle encapsulates the surrealistic nature of the family's loss in one frank confession, saying, "I know that he's dead, but I forget that he's dead." And then I'm like, oh, I remember. Let us know in your comments and stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.